Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes. If you are joining us for this episode, make sure to go to the last one before starting this one because we explored, we deep dove, and we give you a good entree on the phenomenal soundtrack of Princess Mononoke. And on this one, we're going to continue. We're going to have a lot more to say about the spirit of this music. But before I enter this vast topic, I would like to welcome my resident music analyst for all things Studio Ghibli soundtracks. Gab, how are you?
Hello. I'm pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing very well. It's been such a long time.
I know, right?
It's been such a long time. For people, it will have been at least a week, but for us, it's been at least a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get into all that, of course, a big thank you to the sponsor, Laser Audio Technologies. If you use code JaianMusic, you get 30% off all of their creative effects plugins, and every dollar created from that code goes right back into the show, such as GoPro Kyo, who does all of the artwork. So I ended the last episode talking about the demon god. But I feel like let's just get I feel like this song is such a staple of the universe of Princess Mononoke, as you know yourself, Gab.
Yep.
When you look at that soundtrack, that specific song, I'm going to say something here. I think it's got the best drum work out of any song in the Princess Mononoke soundtrack. I think that the timpanis, the intensity, the rhythmic intensity, the polyrhythms here, incredible.
Absolutely.
Uncontrollable, but also controlled. How do you feel like how would you describe the demon god to someone who is about to hit play on it, who maybe hasn't yet?
First off, I love that you researched which instruments,
of course,
that were
as
used.
we should.
When it comes to percussion, it's not something that is as researched, So I really like that, because to some people, drums are drums, but it really goes much further than that.
It's a snare, and it's a hi-hat, and it's a kick drum.
Exactly, It's it can go way beyond that, and I like that you took the time to do the research about it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, when it comes to polyrhythms, it does bring a whole different energy to the table, and I like that it's much more researched as well, talking about it. It's a lot different. For example, I'm into metal a lot. Meshuggah, there's a lot of polyrhythms, a lot of different metrics, and it gives them their own sound, which can become really chaotic, and that's something that you can hear there in Demon God. It's the same concept, executed brilliantly.
I completely agree with that. And I find that even just to go on the polyrhythms or just bizarre rhythms, this soundtrack ain't 4/4 to me.
No.
It ain't. and I know this is I don't want to get too musical nerdy. I still want to appeal to the music enthusiast out there. How do I say this? This song is not like the rhythms that you're used to on the top 40 pop charts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's how I would say it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. Like, to someone who doesn't understand music like that, there's so many complex rhythmic layerings that I love in this cue, and I find it that it makes it stand apart from just standard Hollywood battle music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's just that all right, let me just find that one omnisphere patch with the really sick drum pattern. No. This is like we going a little bit this way, we going a little bit that way. We pulling back. There's like those moments in the song, like I said, where like the drums are ripped away, and we just like slide into this high pitched string chord that's just like, you think it's dissonant, but no, it's Joe Hisaishi musical tension, bro.
Exactly.
And for me, so well done. To me, like, it crushes all Hollywood battle music, standard Hollywood battle music. Do you feel like there's any levity to what I'm saying, or any truth, or like, would you disagree?
No, I agree 100%. You know, here we have a proof that the top 40 most popular song doesn't mean top 40 best songs. You know?
Yeah.
It's just sometimes, or no, like 90% of the time, the best songs are hidden. You gotta go and look out for them yourself.
Yes.
And you know,
yes.
most people aren't necessarily gonna think, movie music, I'm gonna go listen to that. But the few people that do, like you and I, know what gems you can find doing that.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do you a solid right now. I'm going to step away from Ponyo. We're not on the last episode. On this episode of JaianMusic Notes, Jaian gets confused on what topic we're doing. No, we're not getting confused here. We're going to just plug a channel here that I think you would love. Take the time to go check this out. They're called Fantasia Records.
Okay.
And they do Japanese jazz fusion remakes of Donkey Kong, Sonic, Pokemon, and they just drop like a whole 2-hour long album. So Fantasia Records, and I honestly, it's one of the best gems I found in a long time. So just, I know you enjoy that type of stuff, so I just wanted to
I really
throw it
like
out there.
fusion, so I will definitely have a listen.
I'm gonna send you the link after this, bro, for sure.
I need to have it. Yeah.
But I do want to go right back into
Absolutely.
like how I was talking about that Joe Hisaishi musical tension. I really think that's like a good pointer at the topic, but an even better describer of that to me is the moral ambiguity that never resolves cleanly because of the complex harmonic writing of the soundtrack. I used a lot of big words here. I'm basically saying that we don't know if it's good, bad, because the musical notes are sevenths or fifths or fourths or thirds, or they're just not right, bro. They don't feel like it just doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're rarely gonna follow your typical scale, you know, or typical mod, you could say.
Yeah, we don't do typical scales over here.
No, exactly. But that's what gives it its own charm, you know? At the same time, that's one thing when we're talking about fusion a little bit earlier, jazz in general. One thing jazz musicians learn a lot about is mods. Why?
Yeah, of course.
Because it can give you a whole new universe of things that you can play with within your instrument. And that's exactly what Hisaishi does here.
He does.
And that's why you feel this way towards the songs.
Absolutely. He taps into that in such a wonderful way. Then obviously another track I would like to talk about for a moment here is San and Ashikata and San. And then it's weird because some websites say it's San and Ashikata.
Yeah.
Ashitaka or Ashitaka and San. I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the soundtrack goes Ashikata and San. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll for now, that's what it will be called.
That's fine.
There's this beautiful video on Joe Hisai's channel of him playing Ashitaka and San. It's just like a solo piano performance.
Yeah.
This song obviously feels like a family member to Lady Eboshi. That's how I felt it right away. Do you see it that way? When you hear that song, especially in that piano solo format, how does it sit with you?
That's one thing I really like about Hisaishi, that there are, even from him, a lot of different interpretations that are done incredibly well of his own music. And he doesn't have to do all that, you know? As in, it's already an incredible song. He wouldn't have to do it, but I feel like he does it by pure passion for the whole thing. And that's something I love to see.
I do want to correct myself a little bit here. Like, obviously, it's like a piano solo performance, but there are tracks with like woodwinds and strings.
But that's fine.
That's fine. I just if I make a mistake, I call myself out pretty.
No, it's all good. I just feel like it's a whole other interpretation of the same song.
Absolutely.
And he still gave himself the work of restructuring his whole song quite a few times,
which we love.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love that. We absolutely love that. The thing too is, you can, if you ever go through the comments of his YouTube channel, like you'll just see the love. Like someone, sir, please live a long and healthy life. We need your music in this dark world.
That's so wholesome.
Oh, that is.
I love
it's completely true in my opinion. I find that his music speaks emotionally on so many different levels. And also like, there's so many other songs to go in here, but like, let's go here. Let's go here. I'm sorry, I'm like splurging all over this soundtrack.
It's all
in
good.
the sense of like I'm gushing and loving it so much.
It's all good.
The Princess Mononoke theme, like literally Princess Mononoke theme. How did you? Where does that song rank for you? Is it in the upper echelon? Because it is the title theme of the movie. It's got to be like a pretty important piece.
Yeah, it's a good song. I mean, I wouldn't have changed anything about it. That's one thing. I feel like it really depicts the movie really well. But personally, I like it. It's not. I'm not. I don't mean to say it in a bad way. It's not my personal favorite in that whole soundtrack, but it's a great song nonetheless, and it depicts the movie really well. I just really like, for example, the opening, the Legend of Ashitaka.
Of course.
If you go from the soundtrack song to song, I feel like that's one. I know I'm going back, but that's one that really resembles the Elden Ring soundtrack in a lot of ways. So maybe I may be biased, but that's my opinion on it.
Oh my god. I have two thoughts, and then I just saw a video in my recommended, and we're gonna talk about this.
Okay.
I don't even care.
That's fine.
And then I have another topic. So we are staying in Princess Mononoke Land for a quick minute, but we're gonna jump out and jump back in here just because something really interesting just came out. Okay, so Joe Hisaishi. Here's my thing with the Princess Mononoke theme.
Okay.
At some point, because of how wall to wall it is, and because of how many textured elements we're using, and we're just kind of like not reheating our own nachos, but maybe reheating our own violins.
Yeah.
Does it not kind of at some point start having a lot of semblance? And is that what we want when we compose for a film like Princess Mononoke? I know it's a loaded question, but like, I feel like there's something to that.
No, you're right. Well, that's kind of how I feel about it. You've got more courage than I to ask those questions, but yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. Is that really what we want? For example, there's a few things that I feel like could have been a little more adventurous that I would have enjoyed a bit more on it. For example, the women work song. One thing I really like. Um, I only have the name in French in my head, whatever. Du chant grégorien. I think
Oh, yeah,
there's
Gregorian chant.
yeah, exactly. There is a lot of similarities to it. And I
Absolutely.
really like that, and I feel like that's even more daring within
It is.
this whole atmosphere. I feel like I would have enjoyed a little more of that there within the theme song. Just my 2 cents.
Okay, Gab,
Mm-hmm.
I have something for you.
Okay.
I have something. How do I say this? There is a video that just came into my recommended as I was watching the Joy Saishi YouTube channel.
Okay.
And it's a video that, as we are recording, was posted extremely recently because Gab and I are recording this in November. You're probably listening to this episode of the podcast in February, March even, maybe, depending on really how things scheduled out in my channel. Joe Hisaishi, a video posted by Classic FM. Joe Hisaishi, I wrote the Totoro theme in 20 minutes.
What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
So I then go, and this is an interview done by Jonathan Ross. He's a UK talk show host, from what I can recall. Very, very accredited interviewer in the UK.
Okay.
And if you listen to the interview, I'm not gonna play a piece of it here because obviously it's not my copyright
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
But if you go to 837 in this YouTube video, I will link it to you momentarily.
I'm gonna have
my
to
dear-
go through that whole thing.
Yeah, my dear friend, I will link that to you right now.
Thank you very much.
And he basically says at 837, and I'm going to play this to make sure. He said he wrote it in 20 minutes. The melody, da, 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 da. He wrote that in 20 minutes.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. This whole interview deserves its own episode of the podcast almost. I don't want to deep dive it too much, but that's just the genius of Hisaishi.
Yeah. That's crazy.
This man is on another level, my guy.
I could never. What? 20 minutes?
Yeah. Insane. And that's why we're behind the mic talking about him, and he doesn't even know who that we exist.
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
It's actually, if you ever come across this, I would love to interview you. Joe, I would love to.
I'd be the first to listen.
Oh my God. We'll see. Maybe one day. So
Wow.
this is my favorite part now. Unless, did you have anything else you wanted to say about anything we discussed here? Because I want to take it to a whole other place
No,
now.
I'm just baffled, honestly. So it's
Yeah, same. I'm gonna go to bed still dumbfounded about that.
Yeah.
So there's a little tradition that I like to do here with Gab. Gab, if you go on his Instagram, is a self-described metalhead.
Yeah.
So we have to absolutely have you right now, with no preparation whatsoever, tell me which scene of the movie you would have scored to a metal song and what that metal song would have sounded like.
I'm gonna go back again to.
You already know, bro. Already knows.
Yeah. Well, it's World of the Dead. It's obvious like that, but the second part over the first.
Okay.
If I had to
How come?
choose, I feel like there's a bigger feeling of dread within it, as the melody is way more clear.
Right.
I'm not saying the first isn't. The first one will actually allow me to work a lot more on that, but I feel like the second one I don't have to do as much, not in a bad way, not in I don't want to work on it, in a way that there's already a lot of elements that would fit really well within metal. Most of what I would have to do would be in order to amplify what's already been done, and I really like that idea, considering it's his.
Is it the type of thing where, how do I say this? remember like with Spirited Away, you said like, oh, like when Chihiro's getting chased in the bathhouse, and you like kind of
Yeah.
like gave it like, oh, the kick drums, like the double kicks, like yeah, like that makes sense to me. Like when you think of that type of scene.
Hmm.
Do you find that like with metal music being such a dramatic and intense genre,
Yeah.
is that song that you just described, the name is slipping me right now, but I'll get it right now. The Demon
Will of
God,
the
or
Dead.
like the battle drums, or like just those chaotic type of songs.
Yeah.
Are they the best ones to be brought into the metal universe, or other like? Because like I feel like this is like wall to wallness could almost have a ballad like thing to it, because of how like metal can be so folded and bent in so many cool musical ways. You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, one thing I really like about metal is that there is so much within it. Metal has over 80 some genres easily.
Yes, easily.
It's so vast. So I feel like any soundtrack would, any track of the OST would
Right.
fit.
Right,
Any of
right.
them. But when I hear World of the Dead, I already have what I want to do
Oh,
in
right.
mind.
Sorry, you said World of the Dead. I thought it was the demon. But yeah, no, I
Oh,
see
it's
what
all
you
good. I mean, Demon God is a super good answer as well. It would go really well.
Yes.
But even I just want to make sure that I pronounce it right. If, the Forest of the God could fit. That's how deep this whole thing is.
Absolutely. Oh, that's it fits. It definitely can click in that musical sense. And just like skimming a little bit more through that interview that Joe Hisaishi just did. It talks a lot
Yeah.
about like his minimalist philosophy. He has an approach to space and silence that comes from his love of minimalism, and he compares that to Bach's methodical patterns.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
That speaks a lot to the whole like intense and then silence spectrum thing that we mentioned in episode 1, right? He said that so the spaces between notes are as important as the notes themselves.
Absolutely.
Specifically, more important in any other. This is where it's the most important, in my opinion, than any other Ghibli film.
See, I didn't know that Isaishi was into Bach that much.
Same.
I didn't make the correlation, weirdly enough. But
It makes sense.
one thing about Bach is that, he wasn't really known like that during his life. Hisaishi has some kind of, traction. People know who he is within, uh, his sphere. But I really hope that, for say in 100, 200 years, Hisaishi could have the same effect
right,
as Bach.
right. It could, and like when you think about like how long-standing the creative partnership is between Hisaishi and Miyazaki, what does that tell you about the trust between composer and director? Like, how does that level of understanding even shape itself in music? To me, it's like it's not even like a collaboration anymore. It's two artists who spent like decades learning each other's creative language, and by Princess Mononoke, they don't need the words anymore. Like, it's just music and image speak as the one media piece.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish on my last point.
Of course.
The reason why I would love Isaishi to have the same kind of reputation Bach currently has in about, for say, 150 to 200 years,
Yeah.
is
tell me.
that just imagine the quality of classical music this would bring.
Yeah.
It would be crazy. But to elaborate on the point you just talked
course.
about, I think that both of them are really perfectionists and masters of their own craft. and they both know it.
Absolutely.
None of them would be better off replaced by someone else.
No. No.
In Ghibli, in no way, shape,
No,
or form.
completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. I go into these podcasts trying to like have this agreement so we can have like conversation that like breaks apart into other subsections of conversation. You're making this really hard for me.
I understand.
You speak a lot of common sense to me right now with your takes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Of course.
But,
yeah, go ahead.
I forgot my idea.
Oh, no stress. No stress. No stress.
I mean, it happens to everybody.
Say it on the next episode.
That's fine.
I wanted to finish here. I feel like I'm gonna closing here.
Okay.
Like, listen to the Adagio of Life and Death again. Listen to the Force of the God, and to me, like we've discussed a lot about the epic loudness, the intensity, but Saishi, like Joe Saishi, chose silence as the most powerful tool. And in doing so, he created one of anime cinema's most complete musical worlds. And so I usually like just give my thoughts. I'm going to give a challenge to the listener here. If you came across this podcast, re-listen to The Force of the God, re-listen to Adagio of Life, and listen to what's not there. What's absent. That's
a great point.
What the soundtrack that I originally called Wall to Wall as my first descriptor closes as for me. And when you do a full contrast like that, discussing music, that's what you call complete music. So go ahead, please, Gab, your closing thoughts here. I would love anything else you want to say. The floor is yours.
Well, to elaborate on that, I think that if you ever doubt the power of silence is music, you should listen to the entirety of 4 minutes 33 by John Cage.
Oh my God.
That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely.
Now you'll get exactly how silence can be so powerful in the right moments.
There was a whole
I'm not
thing.
gonna spoil what it is. I'm just gonna let you understand.
No, I know completely what you're talking about. There was.
I'm sure you know it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if
about
the listener does.
It makes me think of. Have you ever heard of? Oh, you probably heard about this. Okay, at this point, like, that'll be it on the conversation of Princess Mononoke. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. A bit all over the place, but also like when you have good conversations, like you go where you go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So a big thank you, shout out to Laser Audio Technologies. They make creative effects plugins. Use code JaianMusic to get 30% off your next purchase. Every dollar from that goes straight back into the podcast. Figure out how to use a podcatcher. Look up JaianMusic Notes. Subscribe to it. Give us 5 stars. I always appreciate that. At JaianMusic on social media. And Gab, where can people find you?
On Instagram, once again.
Always.
I mean, yeah, at some point I plan on developing more on the matter, but that's
perfect
where it is for now.
Thank you so much, Gab, for taking the time today. And so for myself and Gab, this has been another episode of JaianMusic Notes. Goodbye, everyone.